What up, sports fans? Alyork Sports. It's the Alyork Sports Show. Special shout out to the East Coast, West Coast, Vegas strong, LES to the death. Let me shout out a couple of my dudes before I get this popping, man. Shout out to Macho Camacho, B Ford, Champ Bailey, Felix Guzman, Jay Boogie, Cameron Boy, aka Rio Grande, my man Big Slim, Christy, Nina, all of y'all, man. I got love for all y'all, man. Continue to, tune into the Alyork Sports, the pickup show. Y'all know I'ma keep bringing y'all that heat, man. That's what I does, man. And let me get back to this. Yeah, let me put this away real fast. Today's topic is going to be college football playoffs. I got like 4 teams I got to cover, so I got to kind of pick it up. But before I say anything, Aaron Rodgers, you the bitch-ass nigga, man. You know what I mean? You was a bitch-ass nigga. You should have just said, yo, you knew McCarthy was gone. You got him out of there in Green Bay. And you going to act like you ain't know what happened. Like, oh, McCarthy got fired? I didn't know that. Man, you set that whole shit up, man. But before, you know what I mean? Before I even go into that, that's a whole other can of worms I can open up. Let's go to the college football playoffs. The seeding is #1, Alabama. #2, Clemson. #3, Notre Dame. #4, Oklahoma Sooners. I got my opinion what should have happened. But before we get into that, let's go to Alabama. Alabama went 13-0 this year. Bama's the best team for a reason, man. Nick Saban and company, 4 straight years to the playoffs. Ever since Nick Saban been over there, they've been the best football team, period. He's the guru of college football, the best football coach I ever seen. I like to say, period. I'll have to juggle him and Belichick, but I will have to take Saban because of the, the cheating accusations on Belichick. And, they won last year's championship game 26-23 in overtime. Y'all know I called it 24-21. I said Bama, but they won 26-23. I was proud of myself. I almost got the score right on the money. But this year, I got different news this year. I think they're going to get through Oklahoma because they should. Oklahoma got the 108th defense. And, when you keep pounding the rock and then Tua fakes it, throw it 5-10 yards, it's going to be impossible for Oklahoma and Cal Murray and them to get the ball. But if they beat Oklahoma like they should and Clemson could get by Notre Dame, I'm going to give y'all who I like on that. Let me get back to that. But, Alabama had, the defense was ranked #9th. They gave up 296 total yards. The offense, they averaged 527. They were 7th ranked. Bama's, they #1 for a reason. They #1 for a reason, and they've been #1. And let me give you some QB stats. You got Tua for the years, 37 touchdowns, 4 picks, 3,300 yards. Jalen Hurts got 8 touchdowns, 2 picks, 755 yards. They running back Damon Harris, 126 attempts, 771 yards, and 7 touchdowns. That's your Alabama Crimson Tide. Now we're going to go to Clemson Tigers. Led by Dab Sweeney. Dab Sweeney, another great coach, very underrated. Sweeney, this is his 4th year straight, also to the playoff. I don't think that Sweeney gets the credit he should. Maybe in the college field he does, but overall as coaches and all that, I don't think Dab gets enough credit, and I'm going to give him his credit now. He's a great coach. He also went to a quarterback controversy with Lawrence and Bryant, and Bryant ended up leaving. And matter of fact, Bryant's going to Missouri next year, which you got to watch out for Missouri because Bryant is kind of good. He's kind of like a poor man's Deshaun Watson. But, to me, they had the toughest schedule. Clemson, out of every 4 teams, had the toughest schedule, and they still went 13-0. That carries weight to me. I actually like Clemson a lot. Trevor Lawrence was 24 touchdowns, 4 picks, 2,600 yards. And that running back, Travis Etienne, 176 attempts, 1,400 yards with 21 touchdowns. Now, they was ranked on defense #6 overall. They gave up 283 yards a game. And on offense, they averaged 530 yards, put them 5th overall ranked. I think the Fighting Irish is going to give them everything they can handle in the first playoff game. The Fighting Irish match up really good with them. So that line's about 11. I think that line's a little high. I think it should be about 8. But if Clemson clears the Fighting Irish, you heard it from Alyork Sports, they winning it all. I'm picking them to win it all. I just think that Notre Dame game is funny. You know what I mean? I just really think it's funny. The line is superior big. But if Clemson gets by Notre Dame like they should, it don't matter who they play, Oklahoma or Bama, they're going to win it all. That's just Al York's opinion, and I gave y'all my championship winner right there. Now we go to Notre Dame. Notre Dame, 12-0. Great season for Brian Kelly and company. Real good team. Got lucky that a lot of teams underachieved this year, which is not their fault. You know, Stanford underachieved, even though they went 8-4, but Stanford had a team where they could have easily got 10 wins, man, going into the season. Florida State, horrible. Tech, horrible. USC, horrible. They beat all these teams. Like I said, I'm taking nothing away from Notre Dame. They did what they had to do. But they got lucky that these teams underachieved, because if any of these would have been on schedule, they would have had one or two losses, because these teams are real good year after year. But, you know, Notre Dame lucked out. They handled their business. They did what they had to. Like I said, I'm taking nothing away. Irish led by quarterback Ian Book, 19 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 2,500 yards. Running back Dexter Williams, 142 carries, 941 yards, and 12 touchdowns. And the Fighting Irish finished 22nd on defense, giving up 331 yards. And on offense, they averaged 456, which is 27th ranked. So I think the Irish can give Clemson everything they can handle. I'm hoping Clemson gets by them, because if they get by them, because it's a matchup thing for me, I think Clemson's going to win it all. I've been saying that. I said that before. I said it today. I said it prior to what I just said right now. Clemson get by the Irish, they're going to win it all. Now, the fourth team is Oklahoma Sooners. They had a terrific year offensively through the team, but their defense is super suspect. Like I said on the pickup show, when you got linebackers the size of Alabama's wide receivers, it's going to be hard to stop Alabama with that bruise type of, that punch you in your mouth type of game when you ain't got no defense. I mean, Texas was going up and down the field on them, and Texas offense is maybe at most 60% of Alabama's offense. So Bama, if they do what they're supposed to do, just keep punching in their mouth, keep reserving these people, keep the offense off the field, Bama should win easy. But back to Oklahoma, great season. Their only loss was to the Longhorns. They retrieved that loss by beating them in the championship game, 39-27, which was a tough 4 game. The score doesn't indicate the game because it was actually like a 3-point game. But what happened, they got a safety late and then a touchdown, and they should have gave up a touchdown, but they got an interception in the red zone. So that's what made the score look a little like, you know, where a 12-point game where it didn't look close. But if you watch the game, it was a terrific game. They very good. Offensively, they got the best offense in football. But before I get into those statistics, let me get into Kyler Murray. 40 touchdowns, 7 picks, 4,000 yards. He's going to win the Heisman Trophy over Tua. Kyler Murray's a beast, but he's real little. And I'm just so interested to see how he's going to move against that Bama D. Because if he could run up and down against that Bama D, then that further will believe me that he might be able to go to the NFL and at least get a job. Not a starting job, but at least get a backup job. Because right now, I don't think he's too small to get to the NFL. But Alabama got like an NFL-type, you know, defense as far as size and weight. Maybe not the ability and experience, but if he can move the ball against this team, then I think he could get a spot in the NFL. And their running back is Kenny Brooks, had 113 carries, 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns, and Trey Simmons, 155 carries and 1,000 yards. So Oklahoma Sooners definitely offensively can move the ball. Defense, they were ranked number 108th, which is the lowest seed in the playoffs, giving up 448 yards a game. That's just, you got to outscore everybody every game. It's just like the old Phoenix Suns with Dan Antoni and the Houston Rockets of today. Golden State, I can't put in there because Golden State got good defense, believe it or not. It's like a running gun defense. They got to outscore you. And I just think, you know, Alabama with all those switching up with 2 quarterbacks and Nick Saban, they might not even get to the field, man. I mean, I could see Alabama having long drives, punishing the defense to the point where, like, the offense never gets on the field. And their offense was ranked #1. They averaged 578 yards, first overall. So it's kind of funny because they're the best offense in the playoff and the worst defense by far. So let's just say, crying out loud, if Oklahoma Sooners win it all, that'd be a miracle to me, like straight up. But I've seen miracles before, so anything's possible. Anything's possible. So like I said, you're going to have the playoffs. You're going to have Bama versus Sooners, 1 against 4 and 2 against 3 with Clemson versus Notre Dame. I can't wait for the playoffs to come. And my pick is the Clemson Tigers. But they got to get through Notre Dame. If they get Notre Dame, I don't care if they play Bama or if they play the Sooners. The Tigers are going to win it all this year for Dab Sweeney. I got his name right this time. And like I said, man, tune into Alyork Sports, man. Salute to all my peoples that keep it real, that show love and support the Alyork Sports Show. Like I told y'all, I'm going to keep giving it and giving it and giving it. That's all I can do, man. I'm never going to shortchange y'all, man. I don't do that, man. If I'm going to do a video, I'm going to lay it out on the field. When I play sports, those who remember when I played know that I laid it out in the field, which was many years ago. But you know I laid it out in the field, man. Love y'all, Alyork Sports. Salute, Vegas Knights. Everything about Vegas, LES, East Coast, West Coast. Love you, cuzzo. Love you, little brother. Love you, wifey. I'll get back to y'all soon. Alyork Sports. That's that shit thing.